Okay, y'all. We got a one for you today. Oh my gosh. I'm telling y'all how to thrive. I said it, how to thrive while managing the stress of work and family. Baby, hot off the press today. We're gonna get all the way into it. Right? This. All right. Listen, this, I'll tell you, this has been a theme. It is a theme. I got this question from a friend and colleague, Joyce. I actually been talking to my coach and mentor about it myself. I've been talking to my husband about it. My small group is doing a whole study on how to just slow down and not necessarily have what we call the hurried life, the rushed life, the doing all the things life, right? That is the key, right? I am the first to say that I'm guilty of being team too much. Y'all, I do all the things, right? I do all the things. I got three amazing children, but two are young, toddlers, and I run two amazing businesses. I have an amazing husband. I teach at a couple universities. I do all the things, right? Right? I do the things, and this question popped up. How do you do it all, Kiki? And I am am let me first of all apologize to you if you think that you're looking at somebody who has it all together. Baby, I know I might look good and everything, right? Because that's how we do things out here. But I don't always have it all together, and it gets really tough, really hard at times to be able to manage both work and family. And so in this question kept popping over again. I'm like, you know what? We got to go to the Dr. Kiki Ramsey Show, and we absolutely have to talk about it. So if you are here with me today, go ahead and drop your name in the chat. Let me know where you are in from a conversation on really how do we thrive while managing the stress, work, and family, because that's the real question. So let's talk about stress for a minute. Y'all know stress is this mental or an emotional state with tension, right? There are so many things that can cause us stress. And with my lifestyle, I'm stressed all the time. I get stressed a lot, but I try not to allow that stress to kind of take over my life. We have to learn to manage stress. At a point when stress gets too high for you, or just too much for you, then you start getting some burnout, start getting angry, you start getting mad, all those things. And so we have to be able to manage stress. Talk about this word thrive, right? This word thrive. And I love this word so much because what it really means is to prosper, to flourish, right? Let's talk about this word thrive versus survive. Survive is just continue to live and exist. I mean, I'm a positive psychologist. You all know that means is I help you work from a print. And nothing about survive to me seems positive. Right here, we just existing in life. And who wants to just exist? If I'm going to be here, which by the way, I want to be here, and I'm pretty sure you you want to be able to thrive. You want to be able to survive. You want to be able to prosper so that you can live and love the life that you're actually living, right? Like I don't want to just maintain. I really want to wake up every day and feel like this sense of accomplishment, this sense of like I'm moving ahead, this sense of prospering in my life. But we all know that what we say, life be lifing, right? Life continues to happen. And with that, there's so many things that continue to happen. Prime example. So last night, me and my husband Jamil, we were at our small group's house because we were having small night, and our whole lesson was how to balance and how to not have the hurried life, right? How not to have the hurried, how not to have that rushed life. And we were talking on that, and I get a call from the babysitter, and in the background, Mackenzie, my sweet little lovely daughter, was screaming her head off. And like, what is wrong? As a mom, we get really nervous and scared that something is actually wrong. And she was like, oh, she's mad because I wouldn't let her get bubbles in her bubble bath. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So my daughter and the son, Trey, he's in the background, but he's not nearly as loud as Mackenzie is. And so Mackenzie's screaming her head off. She doesn't want to talk to me. She doesn't want to talk to her dad. And long story, we had to come home. So we had to leave the small group where we were talking about this very topic, how to like really manage and balance life, work, all of that, to some screaming children who did not to behave for the. And we got home, and by the time we got home, I knew Mackenzie. And by the time we got home, she was asleep, but she was just on the edge of sleeping. So we had to end up having a whole conversation about behavior and why we don't act this, all those things. But I tell you that story to say that, hey, life is happening. We have to manage. And our babysitter, she's just so wonderful. She was like, I'm so sorry I had to call you. I actually did the right thing, and you handled the situation very, very well. And so I was very proud of her with the way that she handled it. But she was very apologetic because she had to pull us away from what we were doing to come tend to the kids. And I wasn't actually so much about that as I was, wanting Mackenzie to actually behave better, because I do know that life actually happens. And my job is, first and foremost as a mom, is to be there for my children. They need me. Right. That's something that I wanted to, that I always want to do. And so I needed to be there for them, or Mackenzie when she needed me. But she needed, guess what? Mackenzie has big feelings. So does Trey. But we're learning how to manage our big feelings, right? Some of us have big feelings that we don't know how to manage. And so I think that that's super, super important to be there for, to be there for her. But that was in the line day, right? Luckily, me and Jamil right before that go on a date, and so we're really trying to constitute those dates back into our routine and stuff. But that's what I consider thriving, right? I consider it thriving. So when we talk about managing, and a lot of times we'll use that word balance, right? I look at balance maybe a little bit different than most people. I think balance is not necessarily 50-50. I think that you can give everything equal parts all the time. That is insane. Right? I don't think that's the real definition of what balance is. I think that you give priorities what they need at the time, right? Because my priority right now may not be my priority tomorrow, or may not be my 2 or 3 months from now. I gave this example once before when I was getting my PhD. That was not that I'm ever gonna not with my family, but that was the priority. So there were things that I could not do while my PhD, because I said that I'm going to finish this, and I needed to finish this as quickly as possible so that I could get back to family and the things and the work and the job that I love, right? When it comes to work, we're swamped with work. I know that you, girlfriend, probably know exactly what I'm talking about. I particularly run 2 companies. A professor. So I'm doing all the things as it pertains to work you then think about balance or managing while you have so much on your plate while you're at work, but you have so many different responsibilities in life? And I say that everything is not 50-50. It's just not. And I know, like I said, this question was posed to me. How do you do it all? And I don't by any stretch of the matter for people to look at my life and say, "Oh my gosh, she's perfect. She got it all together, cut it all together." Because behind the scenes, I'm putting out fires. Okay, like fires are being put out behind the scenes, and just the way life is. But what I choose to do is I choose to show up even when there's fires going on behind the scenes in a positive way, right? I choose to say that life happening for me and not just to me, right? Because we can literally be like, oh my God, this happened to me. This email popped up. I got, let go from my job. I need to find a new job. My kids are acting up, I'm having troubles in my marriage, all those things are going to happen, but they're happening for you and not to you. You have control. You have the ability to create your own happiness. And that's just how I think about life. Like I have the ability to create my own happiness. And so very upset with my daughter last night as I was riding home, but I'm so grateful to have someone who is, just way more calm, cool, and collect than myself. And when we get home, we're not going to be really angry. We're not going to yet voice. We're going to just have a conversation with Mackenzie, and we're going to see what happened, and we'll help her with her big feelings. And that's exactly what happened. And guess what? Because that's the way we handled it, it made all of us, right? It made all of us feel better. And so I have a couple of things I want to go down that I think makes a huge difference when we're trying to thrive and not just survive while we're managing our stress, while we're managing work, while we're managing family. And if you're here with me, like I said, you can even drop your name in that, and I can shout you out. But one, I want us to number one give ourselves grace and mercy. I always call it grace and mercy. Here's why I say that. Human. You are absolutely human. But I think not only do but I think that a lot get that we are human beings and that we are allowed to make mistakes. We're allowed to have big feelings. We're not have things to work out perfectly, and that be okay. A lot of us don't understand how to sit in the uncomfortability of just being human and not having all of the answers. I don't got all the answers. I mean, honey, if these kids came with a handbook, and I know there are plenty of people out there, and I read them all, I look at blog, do all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, for me, I have to figure out how to deal with my family the way that I deal with my family, and you're gonna have to figure out how to deal with your family as well. But what I do is I give myself grace and mercy. If I yell, sorry, the words that I have learned over the years. Back in the day, baby, you wouldn't get me to say I'm sorry. But nowadays, you know what? I say, Mama, see, you know what? Mama is very sorry. I didn't mean to yell. I didn't mean to. Mom, right? And it's not just even, my kids, my husband. I'll be like, you know what? Whoo, I need a minute. I need a minute. I apologize. I didn't mean for that to come off the way that it did. And I'm going to work on it, which is true, right? But we need to learn how to give ourselves a little grace and mercy when it comes to this whole managing, right? This balance thing. We're not going to always get it right. The one thing that I live by is make the next best decision. Try to figure out what the next run is, because that's hard. That's hard to do a lot of times. But if you make best decision, then I think that's all you can do. And once you get there and you've made that decision, if it's not, guess what? make the next decision from there. That's really all we can do. Try to make the next best decision for us in this whole managing thing called life. That as I was thinking about our topic today, and just us having this conversation was oftentimes I need to revisit my values. Let me just explain it. Values are the things that are important to you. And your value may be different from my value. And I think this is where a lot of people collide. You'll see this during election time. We are during election time right now. You'll see this in religious beliefs, all these, values that we, right? But your values are yours, and nobody can take those values away from you. Sometimes what I have to do when I'm trying to manage this workload is I'm trying to reevaluate and reassess my values. And when I do that, it shows me what's important to me. And you kind of know what's important to a person when they take action on that thing, right? Like for instance, just me. I'll give myself an example. Health, right? Health is super important to me. So I try my best, work out often, and to eat right. Honey, am I perfect? I'm perfect? No, I'm not perfect at all, especially when it comes to eating. The workout, I got down packed, but the eating, I have to get way. But you see it in my actions. If I'm eating good, then that's an action. If I'm working out, that's an action. Another one of my values is just real, like my top values is spirituality. I get up in the morning time, I'm reading my Bible, I'm praying, meditating, all of that stuff on the Word of God. I go to church with my family. We have a beautiful small group that we go to every single week, and we are unity. That's very important to me. But you see it in my actions. My family is super important to me. So I'm spending as much time as I can with them outside of them going to school. So the weekends are times with, with my husband. My marriage is so important to me. So although we got off for a little while, now me and Jamil are instituting our date nights back with each other. We got a babysitter. She's awesome. Come to the house. She can pick us up. And so now we're able to go out and spend time with each other. You know your value system is based on the actions. And so a lot of times we have excuses about certain things. If you value it, you will do the right. If you value it, you will make the time for the thing. And so when this balance and this managing between work and family, you have to make time for both of those things. If you do both of those things, I value my work, I value my family, so I have to make time. Now, herein lies the issue, right? This is the whole issue that most of us are talking about. We're like, what? But Kiki, how do you make time? Listen, I'm the first to say I do all the things, but I'm also the first to know that all the things might not get done, and they may not get done in the time that they are supposed to get done. So I hate that whole conversation about prioritization. That conversation makes me so sick, because when you're looking at it from apples to apples, like when you got a pad, you got all these things that you need to get done. People say, "Oh, you just need to prioritize," and you're like, "But all of them need to get done." You know that probably all of them are not going to get you burning the candle at both ends. But you understand that they need to get done. So that I hate, prioritization because all the things need to get done. But what I've done as of late is to really be real about what can get done while also practicing self-care. Woo! Let me give you an example. my schedule, my assistant, Nicole, I love Nicole. She can tell you, my schedule is off the chain most days. Like I, it is right. You're probably in meetings all day long, like I am. Meeting. Need to do this, need to do that. Meet. Right. That's my schedule. But I try to build in a little block of working. Right. Because how do you get work done if you meet no one? Right. How do you get work done? It's almost impossible. So we try to block a little bit of time each week for me to do a block work. And so as I'm looking at my calendar, if there's a space in there where there's nothing that I can do a block of work, that's certain things. So what I get my to-do list, and I've been able to get real realistic about what I can and cannot do, while also making sure that I prioritize self-care, meaning prioritize spending time with the family, those things important to me. So I look at my schedule and I say, oh yeah, between 3 and 5, I don't have any calls on my calendar. So let me slide in a couple little that I can do. And I do, and I don't overtask myself. I used to put like five in tasks in a 2-hour block. Girl, you ain't about to get that done. Like, you absolutely know you are not about to get that done, right? So I'm realistic with myself about what I can and cannot get done. I'll take off or try to leave my Fridays clear of like calls, because for me, I cannot function properly. Neither can you probably if you have calls every single day, all day. It's feasible. So I think part of managing and thriving while trying to manage work and family is really getting real with ourselves about what is actually possible. I know you, Shira, right? I know you, He-Man. But at the end of the day, even Shira and He-Man get tired, right? I know you got superpowers, because we all do. We all have these beautiful. Hey, Dr. Christina, thank you for doing. We have all these beautiful strengths. But at the end of the day, all get tired as well. So I had to stop. I had to stop doing it to myself. And I'm going to ask you to stop doing it to yourself. Stop thinking you can do all the, and be more realistic about what you can do and fit in that time, right? I block time. And as much as I can, block time. And I set time aside for just time to think. Like, it amazes me of us just don't even have time to think. We ain't even got time to think. And so here's one of the things, and I know y'all might be like, "Whoo, child, I ain't getting up at that early." But I'm telling you, I've been a night owl for the majority of, but I love to get up early because the way it sets my up is phenomenal, right? The way it sets me up for my day, there's nothing else like it. So I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning so that I can pray and put on my armor of the Lord. I need that armor on for the day. And I read something, that's going to educate my mind. And then I can sometimes on the computer and do a task or two. But then once my kids, get up, I for my children, they get off to school. I work out immediately after they leave the house. And then I'm at my desk in the morning by around 9 o'clock. I have my first call with my assistant every morning at 9:30. And from there, I pretty much have calls, right? And so that's how I stack my day. But I give myself that morning time to be together. Some of y'all don't give yourself no time to get you together. And then you waking up, you're rushing. You might be rushing children to get dressed. And it just makes the day so much worse when you do that. So I come downstairs to my beautiful office. I sit on my beautiful pink couch right here. And I do me in the morning time because I know that I need it. So then go upstairs. I can wake my children up and I'm like, good morning, versus get up. You got to go to school. This to do it. And it was miserable, all of us. Nobody woke up on the right side of the bed. Everybody was cranky because it just doesn't. But in order to manage, you have to have what my husband calls white space, meaning you have a picture of your life. Every space should not be filled up. There should be some space in between, the that shows whiteness or lightness, right? That can shine some light through and team for myself. Right? And it works. It works. So I'm not telling you that you got to get up at 5, but I am saying try getting up just a little bit earlier than you normally would to give yourself some space, kind of just be. When I'm sitting here on my couch, I ain't gotta do nothing. I can chill, but I do those things to get me ready for the day. And so that's my quiet. That was my one of my things to you is find some quiet time. To me, because the world is sleeping, it's a beautiful time. Some of you at night. Some of you can do it in the middle of the day if you take a walk, but find some time to self. This is how you actually thrive. Another thing is make yourself get some rest. Now listen, with me being a night owl, I can stay up late. Especially I can stay up late watching TV. Y'all know house is one of my gyms, okay? And so I can stay up late watching TV, doing all those things, but sometimes I have to make myself just go to bed so that I get sleep, right? I'm like a little kid. If I get on that TV and I see something to watch, then I'm like, oh, I'm going with it, right? And it's normally on HGTV. But sometimes I just have to top and say, you're going to bed. So I will go upstairs and not even turn the TV on, period, because I need to go to bed. Yeah. You need to make yourself go to bed just like a child. Right? You need to set a bedtime and adhere to your own bedtime so that you can get enough rest. Because we operate different when we're rested. Like, I'm gonna give you a challenge, right? I'm just challenge out. It's truly, we operate different when we're well rested. You operate different when you have little rest. More stressed out, you are more cranky, you're more angry, you're more, standoffish. You have not had a lot of sleep. I know it because that was me. So find time to make yourself get some rest. It just is what you need. Last thing I'm going to say is that please learn how to ask for help. I know we ended. I know strong. I know we all those things. But to me, the true of strength is when you can ask for help. That part. that part is when you can ask somebody for help. I can remember I was trying to do all these things, and then Jamil came to me and he was just like, why don't you just ask me to do it? And I'm like, well, he's like, hey, listen, I can do some of these for you. And I was like, oh, yeah, you can. But some of us are so amped up on, I need to do it in order for it to, that we need to let that go. We need to let good enough be good enough. Because good enough gets done. For one of my professors, when I was getting my dissertation, Dr. Burrell used to say, a done dissertation is the best dissertation, right? You, at the end of the day, when your dissertation is done, you don't get to walk across the stage and call yourself doctor, versus you harping over every little thing and not ever getting done, right? So for me, asking for help is paramount. And I had to learn that throughout my life and throughout my career, because the only way you're going to really thrive is that you ask somebody else for help. The moment I started doing that, I was like, oh, wait, this is something else can do? Okay, boom. So now, child, I am asking for help left and right, because I'm trying to get down to the real nitty gritty of the things that I need to do, and every time I'm asking somebody to help me with. So I hope that these little tools and strategies helped you when you're trying to manage your work and your family. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm always a work in progress. And Jeff on Peloton, I love her. She says, you are a work in progress and a masterpiece same damn time. And that's what I believe, right? We can all be a work in progress and a masterpiece at the same time. That's what I truly believe. So take these, share this show with anybody who needs to hear it. Guess what? We can do it all. I firmly believe we can do it all. It looks different for everybody. Everybody can thrive. You can prosper. You can grow while managing work and family. If this was something you please share it with your audience. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining me. With your audience, share it with your friends, because we all need to be able to love on each other and love on ourselves at the same time. You do have the opportunity to your own happiness. You can find me on social media at Kiki Ramsey and Dr. Kiki Ramsey on social media platforms. And if you are looking for a community of women who are really about maintaining happiness, growing professionally, I invite you to join Happy Women Lead. You can go to www.happywomenlead.com. Join us over there. We have a beautiful community of women who are growing professionally, leading at high levels, and also maintaining this. All right, y'all. I'm so excited that you were able to join me today, and I can't wait to see you till next time. Take care.